She really doesn't seem to understand how quotes actually work. It's like the whole point of a quote is to repeat exactly what someone said word for word. That's literally the definition. If it's not verbatim, it's not a quote. It's not up for debate, it's just facts. Of course, logic left the building a long time ago. And while we're knee-deep in the madness, can we take a second to talk about something that's been stuck in my head ever since I saw that board meeting footage? Tiffany's wig? Yep, I'm going there. I kept watching that video like, something ain't right, and then boom, it hit me. That wig was creeping back like rent due on the first of the month. It was sliding off the front lines like it surrendered in battle. Every time I hit rewind, I'd get caught staring like, girl, please. This whole saga could have been titled The Dictator and the Disappearing Hairline, and I'm sorry, but I can't stop saying it. It's giving YouTube live chaos in a pre-recorded setting, and I'm not mad at it. But hey, you tell me, was that wig a look or a leap of faith? Drop a comment, press 1. If the hairline was giving luxury lace, press 2 if it's a no from you. Dog. Anyway, back to the actual chaos this board meeting. One of the speakers stood up and said if anyone needed help, it could reach out directly or hit up Keith Freeman any time of day. Like 24/7's Keith hotline type of energy. It sounded real accessible. But then the conversation took a left turn, and Tiffany jumped in to defend why staff should be getting paid, regardless of any board drama or paperwork delays. She hit us with, "You must pay to stop, huh?" What? That sounds like something she saw printed on a knockoff hoodie at the swap meet and decided to make her life motto. But her main point was that employees did their part, put in the hours, and shouldn't have their pay held up just because documents didn't land on the board's desk when they were supposed to. And listen, if that's how she feels, fine. But here's the issue. She tried to end the conversation with that like it was the final word, like she was delivering scripture. Sis, it's not a mic drop moment just because you said it with passion. Clearly, one trustee wasn't here for the performance. They clapped back hard, pointing out that the board passed actual ordinances requiring all hiring and firing to go through them, not Tiffany. And yet that whole process is being ignored. They even brought up how unprofessional it is to receive official paperwork over the weekend. This is a village government, not a group chat. Important business should be handled during the week, during office hours. With real documentation and transparency, simple. These trustees aren't out to block employees. They're trying to protect public funds and make sure the system runs with accountability. One trustee even said they had to call Keith Freeman on a Sunday because they didn't get the necessary documents during the week. It's not just inconvenience, it's unacceptable. And then there was that moment. Y'all saw it? The man sitting next to Tiffany, the way he was looking at her. Cue! That wasn't just attention, that was affection. Man looked like he was about to ask her to the prom. It was giving full-on rom-com vibes. His eyes were saying, I believe in us. I don't know if that man has a spouse. But he looked like he was hoping Tiffany would say, let's go over village planning. In private, you can't fake that kind of longing. It was written all over his face. That man was ready for it. The post-meeting after-party, and you could just tell. My gut said he wasn't there for the politics. He was there for the possibility. Anyway, back to the dysfunction. Another trustee chimed in and made it real clear. This ain't about hurting the staff. It's about making sure decisions are backed by facts, not favoritism. They stress that things need to be done right, with full information, full process, and no more backroom deals. Because at the end of the day, if the board keeps approving things without knowing the full story, they'll be the ones blamed when the money runs dry, and that's the truth. Being a trustee isn't about looking pretty on camera or posting cute recap sits about protecting the people's money. And if that means asking uncomfortable questions or slowing things down to get the facts straight, then so be it. Another speaker stepped up and offered their perspective and, honestly, it was just plain common sense. They pointed out that all this chaos could be avoided if folks just stuck to the basics, meet deadlines, follow procedures. Revolutionary, right? They even gave the staff props for being available on weekends, but made it clear this round-the-clock hustle isn't a badge of honor. It's a red flag. Can't expect people to work 24/7 without burning them out. The real fix isn't stretching everyone until they snap its building systems that run properly during normal business hours so no one is panicking last minute. But of course, Tiffany couldn't let that sit. Nope. She had to jump back in, because she always has to have the last word. She claimed that if the board had any concerns, they should have just picked up the phone on Friday and called her, or the administrator. She said they're available 24/7. Her phone is always on, and that she and Keith Freeman are basically in constant contact. Like, ma'am, that's not the flex you think it is. Constant communication doesn't mean you've got things under control. It means you don't. And now, I can't help but wonder, does Kamal know about this little 24/7 connection? Because that sounds a little too cozy for comfort. But hey, I won't speculate. Not too much. Still, it's crazy how someone who's always preaching about transparency and ethics somehow only seems to be transparent with one person. I mean, nobody's saying she can't have friends.
Ow.
But let's be real. Camel was supposed to be the one with something on the side. Joke's on her, she is the side. And the saddest part, I don't even think she realizes it. Or maybe she does and is just pretending not to, because pretending is easier than admitting she bet on the wrong man. Remember when she went on the radio and said Kamal had been trying to get divorced for 4 years? 4 whole years, sis. It takes someone 4 years to do anything. They're not trying. They're stalling. It's not a relationship. That's a red flag on fire. She's out here fighting for a man who's allegedly been battling paperwork since the Obama administration and still hasn't filed one form. That's not loyalty. It's a whole circus. Honestly, I'll never understand why Tiffany keeps clinging to a man like that. She's got drive, charisma, ambition. She could stand 10 toes down all by herself. But instead, she's busy playing background dancer for someone who couldn't find integrity if it jumped up and bit him. She acts like she discovered a diamond, when really, he's not the treasure she was. She was the bag. But now she is the bag, as in, the one getting used. The roles reversed. He's out chasing money, and somehow she became the payday. How does that even happen? Madness. And then came her latest meltdown. Tiffany stood there, accusing trustees of being lazy, not attending meetings, not asking questions, and not even reading the documents on the Village app. She kept yelling, "It's all on the app." It's like that's supposed to magically fix everything. Ma'am, if the app solved the problem, we wouldn't be here. We uses it like it's a shield against accountability. Then she hits M with her favorite line, "Just reach out if you need help." Then hands out her personal number like she's running an after-hours help desk. But when you do call, all you get is smoke and mirrors, dodgy answers, and the same recycled talking points. And just when you think she's done, nope. She starts flailing papers around like she's presenting evidence in a courtroom drama. She references land bank approvals and acts like the trustees didn't understand what they voted on. Then she pulls out this so-called sheet of paper about the Bible Act housing program. The one with the free houses and the $5,000 deals. Anne says she's going to let everyone see it, but surprise, she doesn't. Classic Tiffany, she waves it around like it's a sacred scroll, promises transparency, then vanishes with it like David Blaine. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows what it really says. But somehow we're supposed to accept her word like it's gospel. Because she's the mayor. In her mind, that means no one's allowed to question her. That's not leadership. That's dictatorship with a press pass. Then she throws in a last-minute plot twist, accusing the board of misquoting someone during a vote, claiming that the woman they referenced never actually said what they claimed she did. But while she's busy calling out everyone else for misquotes, she's out here trying to push her shady housing scheme like she's just misunderstood. Tiffany swears she's not being treated fairly, not like the land bank was.
Oh.
But let's be real, her idea of transparency is literally just trust me. That might work in a Disney movie, but not when you're asking people to fork over thousands of dollars for a house in a process that has more red flags than a bullfighting arena. Let's not pretend this is about fairness. It's about control. Tiffany wants all of it with none of the accountability. Now let's get into these housing programs that Tiffany keeps parading around like there's some kind of gift to the people. Let's start with the $1 and $5,000 homes. The rules. Absolutely insane. For the dollar homes, investors have to show proof of $20,000 in available funds. Be licensed and bonded in Dalton, pull a 90-day repair permit, and pass inspections. Sounds intense already, but here's the kicker. If you fail that inspection, the village keeps your $1,000 escrow. Yep, you could lose your money just for falling short on a repair checklist. And don't forget, the whole thing is run like a lottery. 75% of the proceeds go to the investor, 25% back to the village. Tiffany actually bragged in a meeting about how she once hired a private inspector who had saved her from buying a house with rotting floor joists. That would almost sound responsibly if it weren't so wildly hypocritical. Because let's not act like she's always been about safety and standards. This is the same woman who rented out a house to a mom and her young kids that was full of black mold, rats, and raw sewage in the basement. And the kicker? She had one of her own people declare it livable. Someone in her circle literally stamped that nightmare as safe. But when she's the one buying, suddenly she needs backup. Private inspectors, second and third opinions. The hypocrisy is unreal. She tells residents to use private inspectors too, but again, this is the same woman who had her own people rubber stamping dangerous properties, and now she wants us to believe the village is turning a profit off this. Housing setup? Please. It's hard to take any of it seriously when the person in charge is the one writing the rules and profiting off every angle. Every twist, every turn, every loophole leads right back to her. Now let's talk about the $5,000 homes. These come with a whole new set of headaches. Buyers are required to live in the home for 5 years, complete all repairs within 90 days, and pass 2 rounds of inspections. It sounds manageable, right? It's not as, until you remember who controls the permits, Tiffany. And what's she known for? Delaying them. Residents can't even start the 90-day countdown because she refuses to release the paperwork. So now you're stuck, unable to make progress, and eventually she swoops in and says, "You failed." Then she reclaims the property like you messed up, when really, she set the whole trap from the beginning. It's not a bug in the system, it is the system. This isn't poor planning, it's a pattern. All of this, every single piece, is about one thing: control. This is what happens when you hand power to someone who wants the spotlight when things go well and someone else to blame when they don't. If something works, she's right there for the ribbon cutting and photo ops. If it crashes and burns, suddenly it's everyone else's fault. No matter what, she makes sure her name is in the headline. She wants all the attention, all the credit, all the praise, and when other people did the work. And somehow, she always finds a way to twist the story so she walks away spotless. And now for the visuals. Because y'all, that hairline needs its own mailing address. It's so far back it could apply for asylum. I mean, is it in the witness protection program? What are we doing? Let's be real, are we calling this the No Forehead Left Behind campaign? Or should someone gently suggest she bring it forward to a proper Eddie Winslow placement right above the eyebrows, where it belongs? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you caught the reference, drop an Eddie W in the comments. Right now, it's giving throwback sitcom energy in the worst way. Anyway, don't forget to behave because you know I absolutely won't. That's never been my ministry. Yes, she does. Peace.